The comments we heard there from Powell, setting the stage, I suppose, for the CPI print later. That is the big market focus of the day. What are you watching for?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting CPI print. It's been very much hyped, but I think it's asymmetrically skewed for lower bond yields afterwards and hence a softer dollar. I'm not making any particular guess on which way the print's going to come out. If I had to, if a gun to my head, I would say that it might be stronger than people expect. But I think that basically if you get a strong inflation print, you get a little bit of a pop-up in yields and a little bit of a bounce in dollar. Whereas if you get a soft print, you can get a real sharp drop in the dollar and a sharp drop in yields. Why do I say that? Well, because we've now reached the point where the Fed has even acknowledged that, hey, inflation is sticky. It's not going to the plan they laid out before. However, the Fed's super dovish reaction function remains very strong. And this means a soft print gives them the excuse to cut rates, the cut that they're desperately willing to make. Whereas if it's a high print, well, it's kind of going, look, we said it's not coming along yet. We'll have to wait for more data. Maybe a cut will come later on this year. And it doesn't change the narrative as much.
OK, and let's talk about something else that's fairly topical. We've seen big moves in copper and a lot of people talking about short squeeze in copper. And when you see a short squeeze, there's always the possibility it doesn't end well. What are you watching when it comes to this particular metal, which is topical because of M&A news flow as well?
Yeah, I think obviously, you know, the BHP Anglo story is really kind of tying into this. Look, the longer-term fundamental picture for copper is very strong. You know, I'm a bit of a macro tourist when it comes to metals, but all my team kind of assure me that the longer-term demand-supply picture just, you know, supports that kind of fundamentally bullish stance. But the dynamic at the moment is both the news flow and the M&A story and some short-term kind of headlines around supply and Chile raising prices, but it's really about a bear squeeze here. This is about squeezing, you know, just a massive kind of positions in the market. And therefore, I don't think that this current kind of spurt is sustainable. When it ends, I don't know. Some of my team are a little bit worried that if it does collapse suddenly, there might be a ripple effect across the broader commodity set.